But no, you know what you are?
What?
The same thing I am.
Oh.
Live.
Yes. Yeah. Now, as I always say every week, in good old Matthew fashion.
Yep.
We have
Hit me with it.
Really interesting topic today, Gavin.
Woo.
Really interesting topic today.
Ooh.
Which, as we said earlier, before I realized that I made a boo-boo, I liked that Knives Out had a sequel.
Yep.
Kind of unrelated to the other one.
Yep.
Almost like a Black Mirror type situation where it's like the same kind of people, different producers, same kind of people, not the same like physical people, but it's a completely different story.
Yep.
Different mystery.
Yep.
Different murders, different situation, and I really enjoyed it, and I was really happy that because we missed it in theaters, it was on Netflix.
Was it even how long was it? Was it in theaters?
I don't. So, like I was saying last time, that one Tuesday, I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen the guys in a couple days, work and school and everything." So we'll go on Tuesday, our $5 Tuesday movies. Oh, you can eat tacos. So I was like, "All right." I was only in Illinois and like Kentucky and like another place, and I'm like, "Why is it not in PA?" And it never aired in PA, or maybe it did in some places. And then I would say a couple weeks after that, maybe a month or two, I was just scrolling through Netflix, and boom, Knives Out, Glass Onion. Yeah. I was like, oh, shit, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And I was like, oh, we'll just rock out with a couple blocks out, you know what I'm saying? And, hey, Finch. But no, it was really good. I really appreciated the movie, and I know like you liked it a lot. You had your gripes, and I had my gripes, and we're gonna dive into that.
Yeah. And I will digress.
It doesn't matter how many times you say it. It's just such it's. I don't know, man.
Well, you know what's funny is Glass Onion. Well, Knives Out is definitely up there for like my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Yeah. Up there with The Gentleman.
Yes.
Which we covered on this podcast before for sure.
For sure.
And but my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Because remember, he wasn't emotional about the money, but he was emotional about someone putting their hands on his wife.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And he's going to take his pound of flesh, and he does not care where it is extracted from on that person's anatomy.
But he's gonna get the pound of flesh,
and he doesn't care if he's man enough to do it himself or if someone else has got to help him do it. But he will get his pound, not an ounce more or a gram less. I don't actually know if it's an ounce more or a gram less. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the whole quote.
Really good movie, which we should definitely do again.
Yeah, we should revisit that. But no, yeah. So for Glass Onion, sorry. So for Glass Onion, I didn't know that it was Netflix produced. Mm-hmm. Obviously we had talked about going and seeing it, and then it turns out I was on Netflix, and I'm not always on Netflix. Like I'm actually go on it very sporadically. One night I'm like chilling. I'm like, I'm just gonna turn it on to watch. I think I was trying to watch like the Vinland Saga, or something along those lines, and I saw it was like boom right there. It said Glass Onion on Netflix. Yeah. And it was like right there, like one of my like top like trending. Yeah. And I was like, no way. Mm-hmm. And so then we ended up as we watched it with my family, and it was really good. And I was really surprised because I was kind of, not gonna lie to you, I was kind of a little bit nervous it was gonna suck, because I was like,
so was I.
Like that's kind of how the trend goes with movies. Yeah. Like a good movie comes out and they're like, oh, let's make another one. And then it sucks, and then it's like, maybe I should have done that. But yeah, so we watched it. It was good. Definitely not better than the first. Like definitely not better than Knives
I would agree.
Out.
I would also agree.
But one of my favorite aspects of the movie of the series so far. I guess it's not a series yet, or a trilogy. Or it's got 3 for a trilogy, 4 for a saga.
I think so.
5 for a saga.
I'm not sure how that works.
Whatever.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
But whatever. I really like Daniel Craig, who is James Bond, suave, shaken not stirred, Aston Martin driving, martini sipping, bad guy shooting, son of a gun. Yeah. And then in this, he's just like he's like a southern detective with this like super hard southern drawl. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And it's just so weird to see that man have that voice come out of his body.
And like I said earlier too, is like I was watching him and I'm like, dude, I know where he's from. Yeah. Now you would think me being on my laptop watching it and my phone there and everything.
Yeah.
I could have looked it up.
Could have. You should have.
I should have.
Yep.
Guess what I didn't do?
Look it up.
I didn't look it up.
Yep.
And I'm just like, where do I know this man? James Bond.
Yep.
James Bond.
Yeah.
And
Have you seen all the James ones?
not all of them, but I have seen majority. Like I've seen enough of them to where I should have known that's him. Like
Yeah.
that's where he's from.
Yeah.
And I didn't because I'm kind of stupid.
Well, he has 5.
Okay.
5.
But it
He's
was-
5 Bonds movies. It was Casino Royale,
Great one.
Quantum of Solace,
Yep.
Skyfall.
Did
No,
not see that one.
no, yeah, Skyfall.
Didn't see that one.
The one with Batista, and then No Time to Die.
Interesting.
Oh, Spectre. That was the 4th one. Spectre, and the 5th one was No Time to Die.
Okay.
So yeah, no. My favorite one still to this day is got to be. It's a toss up between Spectre and Casino Royale. Casino Royale is so good.
It is a really good one.
Um,
And it was nice to see him in like a different light, especially in this movie. And he was still the detective, still the brains. And I really loved like when we'll jump to there when we get there, but they all come about because they get these boxes, right?
well, yeah. So you got your main cast of characters, right?
Yes.
And the beginning of the movie, you got all these different people from all walks of life getting these random boxes from the specific person that they know, one of their friends. And it's a super elaborate, right? Super elaborate box. You have to open it. It's like a puzzle, like a series of puzzles.
Yes.
And they go through and they open them, and then all these people are like, oh yeah, this is from our friend so and so, and he said this is a mystery to solve my murder.
Yeah, Miles.
Yeah, Miles. This is a mystery to solve my murder. Be at this place at this time.
Yeah.
And then you see, like, you got your main cast of characters. So you got the people that you see in the very beginning. You got your Birdie Jays, right? You got your Lionels, your Dukes. You got your Claires. You got well, like Peg is Claire's PR rep.
What's your phone?
Yeah. You got Duke. Did I say Duke?
Yes.
But yeah, you got your main cast of characters, and then you see them all get their boxes, and then they're like doing the mystery and everything. I love Batista's character. Duke.
Yeah.
He's like, they're trying to take our guns, and
Mm-hmm.
come on, that's so hot, babe. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he was funny.
Whiskey.
But yeah, so then he get yelled at his mom. And then his mom's like, "Who are you yelling at? Who are you telling to shut up?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, Mom." Like that.
I love when they do that to those. If they do it right, like they did there, like his mom, like if he gets bitched by like his girl or his sister, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like okay, that's like a trope, but like the mom is just so funny because obviously Batista of all people, gun wheeling does his whole thing, and then he walks out. His mom is just like sit.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm sorry, Mom."
Sorry, Mom.
But what's funny is actually he in real life, Dave Batista, actually has a really close relationship with his mom.
Awesome.
He actually talked about that in a recent interview, I think, for this movie.
That's good.
Where he actually had to get a tattoo covered up because he was a tattoo supporting somebody that was against LGBTQ or like against like he came out as like a straight like homophobe. Apparently.
Great. All right.
And Dave Batista's mom is a lesbian, so he was
okay.
against that. So. Just a little quick little, just a little, a little. I'm a wealth of useless information, so I.
So am I. I could sit here talk about Disney stuff for like 6 hours.
Yeah, anyway. But no. So anyway, so they get their boxes, and then you see them all like, you can see each character has their very specific set of like who they are.
Yes, and I like that because they had the 4 boxes of like the
right.
Yes.
So like you could see like and then you could see like Claire. She's what is she, a governor or a senator? And she's like super, she's like super uptight. You know what I mean? And
yes, yeah.
Right. She's like a super uptight, like government official, and she's all like, "Oh my God, I can't do whatever." And then you see like Duke. He's like, "Oh, I'll open his box," and it's funny because he's smart. He's like opening the box and everything. And then you see like Birdie J is like this like airhead celebrity, like, "Woo, we're partying."
Even the mom got in on the box.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I mean. And then you see them all doing their thing, and then it's not until that you see Andy get her box. Or no, first then you see Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc get his box, and he's like confused as to why, he got a box.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know these people. And then you see at the end, the very beginning of the end of the intro, you see Andy get her box. And then obviously she did not participate in the puzzles. She just decided to go the old-fashioned way of hitting it with a hammer.
See, if I ever got a box like that, right?
Yeah.
My first instinct would be just to throw it on the ground and break it.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, like, I love like escape rooms and all that kind of stuff, and, like puzzles. So I'd probably still, do the puzzle. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If I got frustrated, I'd go, all right, I know this is for Miles. I know what this is. I'm breaking it, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, it was just cool to see like the beginning of a movie. Kind of, it's a very simple but a very effective way of showing the differences of characters without being without being too elaborate.
You know what? I didn't even think about it like that. That's actually, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny
That's
because a lot
really
of the
cool.
times,
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
like, okay, for example, I was watching. Oh my God, what was I watching? I was watching something. I forget what it was. I'm gonna lose my mind. I forget things like. I was watching something, and it's. I hate when movies do this, where they're like, you know what, it's like the first like hour of the movie, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go stop this, and then they're like, yeah, you will go stop that because you don't like this, and like they like talk like they like say very poignant pieces of their character arc.
Yeah.
It's so lazy to me. You know what I mean? Where it's like, It instead of doing it something like this, like a creative way to kind of show like, oh, these people are different, but they'll know each other apparently, and it's a cool way to kind of it's like a mini mystery before the big mystery, because you're like, how in the hell do these group of people know each other, and not only know each other but are friends apparently.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Which is actually kind of interesting how that all culminates towards the end, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
because when that happened, I was like, yo, this
dog.
is really messed up. But what was throwing me for a loop when they all got the boxes was, you see that they did 4 camera angles all in a box, and they're opening the box, right?
Yeah.
And then you see, what you call him, James Bond. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name.
Benoit.
Yes, Benoit.
Benoit.
I'm like, where does he fit in? Because in my head, it's like, oh, you're gonna solve my murder.
Yep.
In my head, I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting because this could be like a murder mystery type game situation, but you don't know that Miles is like that. So I'm thinking someone killed him. He's going to kidnap all these people, and they can't leave till they figure it out, and then they're going to try to be escaping their death or whatever. Yeah. That's what I thought, because I thought Benoit was he was like that wild card that makes sense for the situation, but I don't know how he fit in. So that's what I was thinking. And then when you start seeing that, they get to the boat, they're all there, they're meeting, it's all like a weird situation, and then they get on the boat.
And Ethan Hawke is in this movie.
Yeah, which is,
for like 2 seconds. He's in this movie, like, he's a pretty big actor to be in like a very small, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just thought that was funny. But no, I see what you're saying. And then it's like, eventually they all get to the island, and you can, even when they get to the boat and they're on the boat and everything, you can kind of get the sense that like, there's something in the background that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Because Andy was clearly different than the rest of them. Like they showed her get her box last.
Yeah.
Right. She showed up late to the boat. Right. And then everybody was surprised that she was there. And then it's like, now it's a second mystery. So in the first 30 minutes of the movie, not even, have 2 little tiny mysteries that you're like, okay, like, and then like the first one is how do they know each other? The second one being, what is going on with them and Andy? Why don't they like Andy?
Yeah.
And then you get to the island, and then boom, there's Miles. You're like, hey guys, and then you find out like it was kind of cool because it wasn't like I hate when movies do that where they like the same exact thing where they like pretend kind of subtly that a character's dead or whatever, and then he pops out of like a random shadow and is like, gotcha, guy.
Yeah.
I like how he's just kind of like on the beach, like, what's up, dude? You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of the beach. It's a total solo scene. What his name's Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl. Hey.
Well, he's not even there.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's not even there.
I'm not even here, guys.
No, I'm not even here, guys. Yeah, it's funny because Daryl's my favorite character, I think.
I wish they did more comic relief scenes with him, because I think there's only like 2 or 3 scenes where he like there's something's happening. He's just like,
yeah, no, hey, Daryl, want to hang out? No, I love Daryl. But no, yeah. So, I thought it was cool how they like got rid of the whole thing. Like, okay, Miles isn't dead. It was just like some like that's just who he is.
Yeah.
I did like Edward Norton as like this like super rich, out of touch character.
Well, it was weird to not see him in green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like running around throwing tanks at people and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was pretty incredible in this movie.
I see what you did there.
I'm sorry, that joke was an abomination. I'm sorry.
Stop.
All right, dude. Jeez, man. I'm sorry, man. Jeez.
You're looking for another pun. I can feel it. You're looking for another pun.
No, I'm not.
This is called stalling.
No, it's not.
Anyways.
This is falling in style. I'm sorry. Anyway.
But it was cool to see him as this like multi-billionaire tycoon
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. And then you learn what the glass onion is. It's like his like central hub.
Well, it's funny because that's what rich people do. They do like the weirdest stuff.
Yeah.
And they think
Yeah.
it's completely normal.
And yeah, so he has this big glass house hub thing, and it's literally just glass. It's glass onion.
It's a glass onion.
And this is when you start to see a lot of the characters kind of unravel, and kind of see each part. Like there was like one part where like Duke's girlfriend Whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Is banging Miles. And
Well,
like the one scene, which I
yeah.
know it has a
yeah.
reason.
But that's the thing is like the first thing that you see is like Duke and Whiskey get there, and then all of a sudden Miles and Whiskey hug a little too long, you know, a little too handsy. And that's immediately when I was like, dang, bro. Dang. Like immediately like that though? Disrespectful. But then Duke didn't do nothing, and I was like, all right, man, whatever. And it's actually really cool how they set up, you know, how things happen, because it like every time you kind of think like, okay, you know, this is where, okay, I can see how things are lining up, and you know there's going to be a twist because they put stuff like the pieces way too in front of you.
Yeah.
As of
Well, and that I was just gonna say is like they're foreshadowing stuff, and you have no clue until it happens.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever see that one movie with Jack Black? I forget the quote, but he did this like horror-ish movie. It was like I forget what it was called.
Jack Black?
Yeah, but he's like, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and a twist.
Oh, Kung Fu Panda.
No.
Oh.
It was like a child spooky time kind of movie.
Oh yes, Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. Thank you.
Where he played R.L. Stein.
Yes. There's a beginning, a middle, and a twist.
No, you didn't have to do it a second time. The first time was good enough.
But like
you don't
like,
have to do it
like,
again.
Like us, like we have a beginning and we have a middle.
No.
We have a twist. You know what I'm saying? A twist.
Ah,
a
yeah.
twist.
You keep stop. Stop it.
Anyways.
Yeah. So, whew, all right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a light bulb, you twist it. Anyways,
Yeah,
But yeah, so they go through, and then you realize like they're having their stuff. They're all kind of talking, and then my favorite part in the whole thing, and if I'm skipping ahead, stop me. My favorite part of the whole movie.
Stop. I don't know.
The favorite part is when Miles is like, all right, well, they're sitting for dinner. They're like, it starts now. You're gonna figure out my mystery.
Okay, yeah. So
am I going too far?
Yeah, a little bit. So
Okay.
Before that happens, right?
Yeah.
He sits everybody down, and then he tells them that this weekend is going to be they're going to be solving a mystery.
I did.
Now,
Yeah, my bad.
As
Sorry.
they're talking about, they're going to be solving the mystery, quote unquote, of his death, right? As they're going to be talking about that, they're also kind of foreshadowing and kind of clearing some things up about why Andy is.
Yes.
an
Oh
outcast.
my God, I really did miss
Yeah.
it. Okay, my bad. I'm
So
sorry.
you
Yeah.
kind of see Andy acting weird, acting a little strange. Not really being, like I said, not being a part of the group.
Well, he even not to cut you off, but when Andy gets off the boat, he sees her, and
Yeah,
he goes, I am really glad that you came.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like it's like they set it up well where it's like what is happening, right?
Well, yeah.
And so then like I said, she's acting weird, and then what's her name? Caitlin. Not Caitlin. What's her name? The senator chick. Claire. She was like, something's not right with Andy. Like something's going on, right? And then and it's funny because then getting to the dinner scene, and then before that you do see Batista seeing Miles and Whiskey hooking up, and that's when I saw him in the bushes, I was like,
You kind of know.
kind of like maybe he's gonna Batista out and be like, Batista bomb. I walk alone.
I hate you. But yeah, and then all of this is you're starting to see like motives of people, like because you're kind of expecting Miles to get unalived,
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing all this kind of stuff, and the next thing you heard that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was weird. Anyways, next thing you know, they're at the dinner scene. I loved this.
That was
because it was the best ever because they're sitting there. He goes, all right, well, this is gonna take you guys all weekend, all this kind of stuff.
It's going to take you the whole weekend to figure this out.
There's stuff all over the island. Some stuff's gonna help you. Some stuff's gonna be like a red herring. And then oh my god, Benoit. I don't know why I can't pronounce that. Benoit. He goes, can I get an iPad? or like, is there a prize?
What do we win? He's like, what do you want? He's like, oh, I don't want anything. I'm just asking. We're doing all this. Is there a prize, or what is the point?
Yep.
And he's like, I don't know. Yeah, all right, fine. If you win, you get an iPad. He goes, all right.
And then this man stands up and he goes, Birdie, because if you look at this and that, and it's pointing to her and this, and he solves it. and then they're all like, what? And he's just like, and what made me absolutely lose it. I'm standing right here where you're sitting, putting up the paneling, and I'm watching it right there, and I watch this man like sit back and he goes, and the arrow he's just sitting there, and I'm like, damn, get wrecked.
Well, it's also funny too because if you as you're watching the movie, Benoit's not supposed to be there. Like Miles doesn't know why he's there. Like when he arrives, he's like, "Oh my god, I have the greatest detective here to solve it." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Right. So when he dismantles this whole thing, and he's like, he just standing there, and he's like, and he does like the fake blood and stuff. He's like, damn. But and then obviously he has to have a one-on-one chat with him, and he's like, and then you kind of see like Benoit's like, I don't think you understand that there's definitely somebody in this house that actually wants to kill you, and or has motive to kill you, or whatever. And then you see kind of Miles like kind of like skitzing out a little bit, like all right, whatever, like freaking out. And then I really did like how each character was like stayed true to their character. Like Birdie J was an airhead the whole time and like a racist or whatever. You know what I mean? Like she said some racist tweets, and then she's like a quote unquote airhead celebrity. Yeah. And then you have like Batista. He's like the same way, just kind of like But with his character, I enjoyed how he was kind of like playing devil's advocate a little bit, where he's like cool with Miles and everything, even though he knows he's sleeping with this girl, and
he's a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, that was tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was tough. That was cool.
Sorry,
but he does have one fatal flaw, that Batista. Pineapple juice. So I did like how they gave him something cool to, I enjoyed how every time you think you know where the movie's going, it kind of twists.
Yeah, because you expected Miles to get unalived.
You expected Miles to get unalived, and then they're all hanging out together, and then Big Boy Dave goes down.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Duke.
Well, I know, but it's
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that threw me for a loop. Because I know then the lights go out, he's freaking out, there's this whole thing, because Duke goes down, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then as the lights go down and everyone's freaking out, everyone's suspended, everyone's
it's like a big game of Clue.
Yeah, literally. It's like a big game of Clue.
You ever play Clue?
I have played Clue.
Do you ever play all the iterations of Clue?
No.
You only play the original?
I think so, yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of them. There's one where it's I'm pretty sure there's one where if you're in a hotel or something, or you're in it's like Clue, and then they do stuff with celebrities and characters from shows and stuff. Where it's like Scooby-Doo, Clue, and whatever else there is. But I played Clue a lot, and that's why I like this movie so much, is because it reminded me of playing Clue.
Well, they even mentioned it in the movie.
Yeah. But I think we should play Clue one day.
I'm down. Last time I played Clue was with a bunch of fourth graders. When I was a teacher. Yo, wait. I was a teacher aide, Springford, and the kids would done their homework, and they go, Mr. Matt, do you want to play Clue? I'm like, sure, guys, we'll just play Clue. We even played poker the one time. Poker, I barely even know her.
So you're getting fourth graders to gamble.
I wasn't my idea.
Oh, okay. This is something else.
Listen.
Well, at least you were licensed to be around kids at the point, right? You graduated college and you got your degree and all.
Well, now, but not back then. I had
So
my
you-
background
so you
checks.
Were, so you were unlicensed around fourth
I had
graders.
to have my
So
associates at the
allegedly,
time.
you were playing.
Technically, I
you
had
were
my
playing
associates.
board games with fourth graders in a quote unquote school environment, unlicensed, might I add, and
I had my
Nick
associates.
self-proclaimed teacher aide, and then
That was my title
you got
on my
them,
chick.
Then you got them to gamble.
That Nate Dogg was the one that
Wow.
chose to do that.
Wow. And
I-
you gave them nicknames.
That was
Interesting.
That's
That's
his
interesting.
nickname
Anyway.
before I was there. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I digress.
Why does that? I don't know. Anyways, where were we at? 9/11. All right. So I don't know why that came to my brain. But yeah. So what
So
was
big-
cool is
so
the
big
lights
boy-
go down. Oh,
Big boy dies.
big boy dies.
Right. There's a lot of hidden, like, tongue-in-cheek and like hidden things that you see. Like, you just have to kind of watch the movie for.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he dies and then the lights go out, and then now, because Benoit did say you are in a room, surrounded by people that have motive to kill you, whatever, and the lights go out, and then everyone kind of freaks out.
Yeah.
And everyone is kind of, all of Miles's like friends that are besides Andy are thinking Andy's going to be the one to try to kill him.
Yeah.
And so then when the lights go out, he's like trying to hunt her down to, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it was pretty crazy,
It was. And then what was wild was when Benoit finds Andy outside,
Right.
you see a guy with a gun.
Yep.
Bam.
Boom. Get shot.
Bam.
Dead.
Bada boom. Bada bing.
That's it. All she wrote.
Yeah.
Fat lady singing.
Yeah. And when she goes down, you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. They all come out of like various different parts of like the island. And they're looking at Benoit and the dead Andy. And see, it's we gotta watch our YouTube, otherwise you would have missed something like that.
Whoa.
But yeah. So they go in, they're trying to figure things out, and then now you're really starting to understand why these people are all together, what's keeping them together, who Andy actually is,
Yep.
why they all hate Andy,
Yep.
and you learn that this thing they kept talking about, the alpha brain or alpha,
Alpha.
what are they calling that?
Omega.
Black flag fingers, fuck a driveway, on the airplane hanging.
Alpha. Alpha brain.
Is that what? No, that's Joe Rogan's thing. But
Oh.
there's this thing called alpha that we're calling it, and it's like this hydrogen type deal situation.
Yeah.
And basically, what it was this thing that
Self-sustaining energy.
self-sustaining energy. Yes, and he was running the whole island on it. The thing is Andy was part of it, and you learned that she was like, this can't work. I don't want this to work. This is bad. This could hurt people. This could kill people. So she didn't back Miles up. Miles took his lawyers, rearranged the contract, got Andy beaten from it, taken away from it, and all those people in that house went to court and lied and said, oh, this and that. They lied about her, and they basically got her disbanded from the alpha situation.
They committed perjury.
Literally committed perjury.
Boo.
So with all this, Andy then finds a smoking gun. It was like this piece of paper,
Yep.
napkin or
It was
whatever.
the napkin that
the-
she had wrote the original idea on.
Yes, with the glass onion.
With the
old bar.
So the glass onion, it was the old bar that had the little print on the napkin.
Yeah.
When, Miles took over, he took the napkin from her.
Yeah.
And then, allegedly, and then he kept that basically safe, but what he did was he rewrote it in his handwriting on another napkin
Yeah.
and portrayed it like it's his handwriting.
Yes.
Everybody lied for him and all. Which was kind of nuts. Like, imagine like you're getting like you're going to you're going to court for something, and it's like all of us, and we're like, nah, he didn't. No.
That's wild.
What would you do?
I honestly genuinely might commit murder. I don't know.
Who would you murder?
Maybe that's a little extreme.
Who would you murder?
Well, I'll take you guys all to an island, and I would then have you guys solve my murder.
You would kill me with pineapple juice?
Yeah.
Wow.
So good man.
That's messed up, dude.
Dude,
I'm not a 6-time.
That was a messed
I'm
up.
not a 6-time world champion in the WWE
Or a Twitch streamer.
or a Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
But yeah, that was messed up. And then this is when you figure out that Andy, they then are realizing that Andy was actually killed, murdered.
Mordor.
They're saying that she committed suicide and all this kind of stuff. And what's wild is none of these people know that it actually happened yet.
Right.
So we'll get into that a little later because you'll find at the end. But then you also find out that Miles, the reason he got all them to lie for him was he has an exorbitant amount of money.
Right.
So with what you said earlier with Birdie, with the racist tweets and all that kind of stuff to ruin her brand, he was able to hide it and keep her afloat.
Right. He had dirt on everybody.
Yeah.
And that's why he was holding them over their heads to lie for her.
Yes.
Or lie for him, saying, if you don't if you lie for me for Duke, I'll make your career.
Yeah.
If you lie for me, I'll put you in a higher office in government for Claire.
Yeah.
Lie for me, for Birdie J, I won't release your tweets or your lie for me for Lionel, and it was like he'll fund whatever project because he's a scientist, so he'll fund whatever project, and so on and so forth. So, you can see everyone has a motive to support Miles, and then to come to find out that it hasn't hit the news yet, but Andy was murdered, and the person that's on the island is her identical twin sister.
Yeah. And the reason that Duke got killed was because he checked his phone and it was blowing up.
Yeah.
And then he found out that Andy was dead. And then he mentions it to Miles. Miles realized he's the only person that knows that could ruin this entire operation.
Gotta get rid of him.
Oh, wait, no. He saw she was dead, but you find out Duke was passing Miles as Miles killed Andy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I know this came out.
And then Duke was going to leverage that to get his thing anyway with that. And then Miles was going to lose his leverage, and it was going to be a big thing. He was going to be the one under the thumb. And so he just slips a little pineapple juice into a drink, hands it to Duke, and Duke takes a big old gulp, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah. And then you find out that Andy, quote unquote, the sister.
Yeah.
What was her real name in the movie?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, I feel bad. And
shout out to Janelle Monáe, by the way. She's a singer, so she's a musician.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she did a great job in this movie.
Interesting. I did not know that. So when you have a singer doing all this, pretty cool. And as it's kind of happening, you're realizing she was the one that got Benoit to do all this, gave him the box. He's figuring it all out. He's there to solve an actual murder. And then you're seeing the pieces of everyone fall apart. Right. And now Miles.
So now, Miles comes out that now Andy is now considered dead again.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And Miles is basically like, it comes out through everything that Miles is the one that shot Andy, like the second Andy, to get rid of her, to tie up all of his loose ends and everything. And then it comes out, the big twist is that is that Benoit and Andy's sister had been working together previous to going there. That's why he got the box, is because they made a replica and sent it to him.
And you know what's even cooler too is when they brought up the hot sauce situation, right?
Yeah.
He gave some to Benoit.
Yeah.
And when Andy got shot, it hit like a book in her chest.
Yeah.
She lives, and she's like, "This is a good opportunity. They think you're dead."
Yeah.
Puts hot sauce, even gets in his eyes, yada. And then she's dead, and she shows back up, and that's when the whole thing is just imploding.
And then so then you have everyone in the same room again. Andy's like, and then Benoit's basically like, this is it. I'm like her sister. I'm outing you. You're going to prison. Screw you. And then, which is pretty funny, how Miles just casually takes the napkin and just burns it.
Dude, that pissed me off because she has the smoking gun in her hand.
And he's just like, whoa. And then he's like a little kid. He goes, I don't see anything.
Literally, it's in her hand. She's holding it. You don't see this man pull out a lighter, light it, and you don't think,
No.
I'm like, dog.
No, but not everybody has the freak genetic reaction time that you do.
Oh yeah.
So,
but like, we should do a video to test that. See how long it takes to pull a lighter and light it, and then like.
I'd be down.
But no, that bothered me. But then then it's like, well, and then Benoit's like, well, I can't do nothing about it, I can't do his accent.
Wait, what did he say?
I can't do nothing about it. I can't do nothing about it. And then he goes,
Well,
this
I
is
do declare that
Well,
that
that's
was
what it is.
our,
Well, I
our
do.
only piece of evidence.
That's what it is.
My hands are tied. I got you here and I got you what you wanted, but my hands are now tied.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you. That was actually really good.
Thanks.
I thought mine was better though.
Well, yeah, but
I'm sorry so loud. Anyways, so then they start just breaking everything. They all realize that Miles really is a piece of shit, and she's like, "Stand up for me," and they won't.
Yeah.
She's just breaking literally everything.
Yeah.
And then
they realize. What do they realize?
orgy. No, they realize that he really is a piece of shit, and they start breaking his stuff too. They're getting it all out, all their frustrations, all their angers.
Yep.
Until,
it comes out that they're like, we'll change our testimony to not back her, to back you, not to back you, but to back her.
Yeah, they're all like sitting on the steps.
Yeah, they all pretty much realize like, all right, like Miles has been the only reason that they're quote unquote friends is because he's had leverage over all of them. They found out that he just killed one of their friends, two of their friends now, you know, and now they're like, you know what, screw you, dude, we'll change our testimony, you know, and that, you know, and that was cool because then Andy used the hydrogen, or you know, the alpha,
yes,
to destroy the glass onion, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yep.
Although I didn't like how like the whole building exploded and everyone was just like fine.
Well, the other thing too is like the real Mona Lisa was in there.
Yes, he had the real Mona Lisa that he traded for something, like something valuable with some business guy, or some museum or something. And the whole thing was, even if you're in the room and you light a flame, there's an automatic detection, like a protection thing that comes down, like a shield, so that it won't get caught on fire. There's only one
Kill switch
to get rid of that, and she was able to hit it, and so then you just kind of, which did make me a little sad, just watch the actual Mona Lisa just get burned.
Well, see, here's why I liked it, because I loved what she said. Because in the beginning of the movie, he goes, "I just want to be known in the same breath."
Yeah.
We talked in the same breath as the Mona Lisa. Ironically,
Yeah.
she is, but he's the reason that
The Mona Lisa.
the Mona Lisa is destroyed because of his creation, their creation. And you see that he will be known in the same breath as the Mona Lisa.
Yep, and then basically her and Benoit kind of just roll out into the sunset, and they, you know, they get out and they go home, and it's a happily ever after.
Another cool thing that I liked was in the one part in like the middle, he's there, he's trying to like light a cigar.
Yeah.
And like, "You cannot smoke here," and like the garden's like freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then as the place is in flames, he's in the garden with
Benoit
and what was it?
Daryl.
Daryl. He's just
well, that was one of my favorite scenes is when Andy's running through looking for Miles, and she busts through the door, and it's just his room, and he goes, "Hey," and she goes, "I wasn't here," and then leaves, and he goes,
"Well, yeah."
Hey,
did he
Daryl.
say that?
He goes, "Hey, Daryl, want to hang out?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene.
Yeah, and he's not even there.
Oh, Daryl.
Overall, though, I did really like the movie. It had a
Yeah.
beginning, it had a middle, it had a twist. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have the energy for this.
But yeah, dude, I would definitely watch it again. It was a funny movie. It had good twists and it had good drama.
One night. We should do like a Knives Out and a Glass Onion back to back, double encore, or double
ensemble,
double entendre. No, double viewing, double showing, two showings back to back.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
This was fun. I definitely enjoyed the movie, and I definitely want to watch it again. I am excited that the second one was still really good. Not as good as the first, but you know, it was still good enough. For me
it's
to be
hard
like,
because you have Captain America going, eat shit.
Like,
come on.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, language.
That's what I mean. Like he plays I love when Chris Evans plays a bad guy.
Yeah,
I just think it's funny because like you've seen him as Captain America and this whole time for the past 10 years.
That's America's ass.
That's America's ass, and he could do this all day.
He could do this all day.
You know, and then he's just some bad guy, rich preppy bad guy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really enjoyed the movie. I was glad it was good. But on to the next one.
On to the next one.
Anything else, my friend?
Nah, that's pretty much it, I think. That's pretty much all I got. That's pretty much it.
Now, here's our twist. We're just going to stay here for another hour.
Yep, so welcome to 1 hour of Stuttering in Silence, Silent Edition.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next week.